we're experiencing things that we've never experienced or dealt with before. But ultimately, life is still very normal. We're still coming to work. We're still going out on an evening time. We're still going to restaurants. We're not dealing with looting in the stores. We're not dealing with robbery. We're not dealing with, just panic, not hearing from the government.
Right, welcome viewers. Thank you for joining us today with Elite Property. We're going to be doing some talks about real estate. Sat here today with Elise. She's our sales and leasing manager. We've got Ola, who's one of our top performers here at Elite, and also Uj too. He's also one of our top performers. Topic today is about what's happening in the region, and we want to have a discussion. We've been speaking about it for the last 2 weeks, and we wanted to sort of give our insights into how things are working with us and what we're experiencing and some of the issues we might be facing as well. So guys, over to you. I think with what's happening in the region and the sort of current geopolitical issues, what sort of questions have you been facing from investors and people that are buying, or your client base? Like, have you had anything out of the ordinary?
Mostly I'm facing from Turkish buyers. Their demand was so fragile. So because of the geopolitical risk, of course, everyone knows before UAE has some geopolitical risks. Still, here is safe haven if we compare with other cities. But because of this geopolitical risk, demand and transactions now go down. Mostly, I'm taking some low offers. So many people looking distressed deals, but of course, not any seller is selling it. Everyone just waiting to sell and to buy. So in these times, I'm facing with this, but I'm still renting some units. The last week I rent something in Burj Royal in 2-bedroom in downtown. Some people, also me as well, we like to living in Dubai and they want to stay here. Also my cousin, also my other buyers, they want to invest and live here. So end users still looking for some investments in current situation also. But they want to get something with lower price, of course. But we will see what's going to happen. I think like this.
Where are you from, dude?
Turkey.
Would you say it's safer here in Dubai now, what's going on, or safer in Turkey?
Dubai is more safer. Yeah.
But in what way?
Now I'm talking live. I don't want to talk too much things, of course, but...
No, it's fine. I think,
yeah.
I think we're from the UK. You've lived in the UK as well, haven't you? And I think, haven't you? Where's the accent from?
This is how people in Nigeria. So you did.
That's true. But
the basic thing I can say, so you can leave your phone in the restaurant, in the table, no one will take it in Dubai. But in Turkey, it probably disappear in 1 minute, maybe less.
I think why do you feel safe here with what's going on? I think a lot of people have seen the news and they've heard headlines and they've seen Instagram of people landing in the UK, for example. Like, what would you say the UAE has done to make you feel safe during this time?
First of all, the people are very kind here. Also, the law of the UAE is very strict and strong. That's why people also avoid of doing something wrong. Even the traffic. Also, the traffic fines are crazy. Yeah.
You drive fast then.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Ola, what about you? Like, with what's going on in the region again?
Yes.
You feel safe being here? You feel safe coming to work? You're safe in your house? Like, why do you feel safe?
The number one thing that we need to acknowledge is that there's two types of crises in the world, internal and external. What we're dealing with has nothing to do with the UAE as a country, but of course, because of location, we're caught in the middle of it. But internally, we're not dealing with what would be happening in countries that don't have strong governments or rules or policies or good standard of living. For instance, we're not facing petrol queues, despite the fact that things have happened. We're not dealing with looting in the stores. We're not dealing with robbery. We're not dealing with, just panic, not hearing from the government. All of these things that would have been happening in situations elsewhere, we're not dealing with that here. So the fact that the government has been proactive, the fact that people are still kind, day-to-day life. I mean, yes, we get alerts and stuff. That's not normal, but we know that we're hearing from the government. They're telling us, this is what's happening. This is what you need to do at this point. Having that assurance from the government and knowing that internally, everything is still good, it just gives you that confidence of, why do I need to leave?
Yeah.
Everything is being taken care of.
I think since everything started, the amount of sort of missiles and drones that the UAE have intercepted is huge. It's over
Unbelievable
1,000
numbers.
Yeah.
Like, and again, they had no idea this was happening. So it's like, if this is how the government reacts on unprecedented events, imagine what happens when they're ready. So it's like, knowing all of these things, it gives you confidence as a person.
Yeah.
And even my investors, it's, how are you? I'm fine. And then you would think the follow-up would be, oh my God, what's happening to my investment? But they also see, like, they follow, we have data available, and they're like, wow, I'm really glad that this is the kind of country that my investment is in. I feel good.
Yeah.
If there's any flexible payment plan coming up, please let me know. If there's any amazing deal, make sure you reach out to me. I'm ready to put my money in.
Good. So there's still a lot of confidence from your client base, still a lot of confidence from your previous and current customers in
Absolutely.
purchasing in the UAE, purchasing in Dubai, and
Absolutely.
carrying on their portfolio.
Absolutely. And again, I'm sure you've been here longer than I have. I came just before COVID, and I started real estate around that time. And I remember a lot of projects that were launched. Tilal Al Gaf, for instance, you had buildings in Forte, downtown views. They had so many amazing payment plans. And look what's happening to the investors then.
Yeah.
They're making such good money now. They've seen this happen. They've seen that the government comes out, the better for it. So they're ready to stake their money, because they know that in a matter of time, they're going to make huge profits.
Yeah, 100%. I think, it's a great answer. I think we're all on the same page when we say that Dubai's not going anywhere. The UAE is not going to go anywhere. This will be over soon, and we're going to bounce back even stronger. But going back to what you said about investors, Elise, what sort of questions have you had from your clients? And is there anything that everyone's talking about? Have you noticed any trends with any of your customers?
I think everybody's looking for a distressed deal.
What is a distressed deal? I keep hearing this.
I know. And I think it's a word that a lot of brokers, especially in today's market, are hearing in every single conversation that they're having with buyers, with sellers. And, a distressed deal is very subject to the property and obviously what the original purchase price was when that owner purchased it, especially in the off-plan resale sort of property that we have. And a lot of owners, especially if they're cash and they bought it cash, they're not looking to sell their property distressed because they don't need to sell. They've been in the market for a long time. They're sitting on a property that's already paid. They're not looking to sell their property to get out of the country because they understand that the UAE is still a very safe haven. And potentially we might see some deals. We might see, below OP, maybe 5-10%. But when we're getting people asking us for 20% below OP, these deals are not coming around as often as probably people think they are.
Yeah.
Which, we have multiple buyers and people who are still willing to invest in the market today. And that just shows you that, buyers are still confident in purchasing in Dubai, regardless of the situation and what's going on right now. And obviously a lot of the people that have been in Dubai for a long period of time, they still feel very safe here. So do we feel like the market's going to continue and bounce back? 100%. But there is still people that are wishing that they're going to be getting deals 20% below OP. And that's just not the reality of what we're seeing right now. Potentially, maybe will that happen if this continues? Who knows? But ultimately, if you're looking to secure a good deal today, realistically, you need to be looking at something that's maybe 5-10% below, or something that's at OP price, because still when the market does bounce back, you will be still making returns in 5-10 years time when the market does correct itself.
Yeah. Before we continue, if you enjoy conversations like this about property markets, investments, and global trends, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And feel free to comment below the topics you'd like us to discuss in the future. Thank you. I think a conversation I've been having with a lot of my clients is we've seen things happen in the region before. There's been tension in the region before. We've had COVID, which happened. We've had the floods. We've had the conflict last year. When I moved out to Dubai, we were just coming out of recession as well. And we had when the oil prices crashed back in 2014. And I think every time something like this happens, the UAE find a way to bounce back even stronger, correct? What would you say is different to this compared to how the market was in COVID? Or how do you think the Dubai real estate market is different now to back then, in terms of them being able to bounce back quicker? Would you say the market's more transparent with your DXB Interacts and all the data that buyers and investors have got now?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot more data accessible to everyone, sellers, buyers. So it's not just about, I mean, it does help you to have a very good broker, but when the broker's word is backed by data that proves what they're saying, it gives them more confidence. Another thing that I do appreciate about the market is that it's not like a one-way street. Not one person or not one demographic controls the market. It's very flexible and very accommodating for every type. Whether you're looking to retire here, you're just starting your life out, you just want to buy something to invest, whatever type of buyer or investor there is, the market caters to everyone. So having that kind of flexibility does help, backed with data to show, even if you're buying a studio, this is how much you can make. If you're buying ultra luxury mansions, this is how much you can make. It does help.
Yeah. I think a question I had today, actually, which was not a new one, but I don't get asked it a lot, is what have the UAE government done to bounce back from this? I think in our work group that we have, I think everyone's sending over news articles and they're sending over messages that have been forwarded on them for the entertainer, for example, things that the government start doing for the people that are living here. How well do they look after people here?
Exactly.
Well,
I said the family initiative that was just introduced Faza, and I immediately sent it to my sister because I've got nieces here, and they were just so excited that, we have leaders that are that thoughtful and just looking for ways to help residents and citizens, live the utmost quality of life that there is. So again, the confidence in the leadership and knowing that internally we're not dealing with anything on ground, it just really helps.
Yeah, I agree. I think what else was sent out? I think they were giving out passes for the Atlantis water park.
I think a lot of the hotels, I think a lot of us have seen that hotel prices have gone down recently, to sort of show people that, we can still go out and still enjoy Dubai because it is still such a safe place. And a lot of these places are doing redeemable packages where you can maybe go for a sunbed, and you can go to the beach club and you can get food and drink, because life on the ground is still quite normal. I think everybody would agree that, I think all the news articles and the way that outside media is portraying Dubai is that we are in the middle of conflict. And yes, we are, we're experiencing things that we've never experienced or dealt with before, but ultimately life is still very normal. We're still coming to work. We're still going out on an evening time. We're still going to restaurants. We're still going to the beach clubs. And ultimately the leadership and the way that the buyer has dealt with things gives us the confidence that we are going to still be safe when we're still going around our daily activities. And, I think that still shows a great sentiment to Dubai that, regardless, we will always bounce back. And the UAE citizens and residents here believe in Dubai more than ever. And, we're not fleeing back to our home countries because, ultimately we have such better lives here.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Douche, got a question for you. From all of the investors, all your client base that you've got, how many of them have told you that they want to sell, or they want to drop the price, or they want to sell quickly, or they want to list their property as a distress sale? Would you say, out of a percentage, or out of 10, how many would you say your clients are planning on selling this quick?
Only 15% they want to sell on the OP.
15, so 1/5. Okay, so very low. So your clients are holding on, they're sticking to, it's all about long-term growth with that.
Yeah, because too many of my investors, they have multiple units in Dubai. They already know Dubai is best, and that's why they want to be patient about the situation. So the people who are invested only one or maybe two, or they don't know anything about the market, they can feel panic and they want to sell more. Lower prices, lower than OP, but my investors is not like this. So if I find anything in lower OP than 20%, as you said, they would buy it. But unfortunately, there is nothing in the market that.
Okay. So like in these sort of times, what are you saying to your clients then? What are you advising them to do? What's the plan?
Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I'm just saying to them, just wait until the June to see the market, how it will be in that time.
Yeah. And what do you expect to happen over the next sort of 3 to 6 months? Obviously, there's no guarantees, but what do you think will happen?
It's all up to current situation, but if there is a cash deals in the moment in the market, I think this is the most important thing to showing the demand on the market.
Yeah.
The transactions will happen, but I don't know. I mean,
So you're saying hold out.
yeah,
Things will be okay
Yeah.
soon. Once things settle, hold out, and we should start going back to normal.
yeah.
What do you see developers doing in this market now? I think majority of sales that are done every single month, these figures that are given out to the market, resale, off-plan, developer sales. What do you think developers are going to do now to try and sort of react to changes in the market?
It's just going to be more flexible payment plans. I don't see a situation where prices will be dropped by developers because, again, like he said, he's got 15%. I think it's also important to differentiate that in every market, there will be distressed sellers because people have financial commitments, they can't meet up. In my case, I don't have any seller that's distressed because of this situation.
Yeah,
it was prior to this.
There'll always be
financial commitments, all of that. So it's very important to note that. So yeah, developers would have flexible payment plans. I think, again, we're going to see more inventory available. Yeah, more inventory released as opposed to maybe them releasing about 20-30% and then holding on and dragging it out. There'll be more inventory in the markets, more flexible payment plans. That's pretty much what I see happening.
Yeah.
Cool.
And transaction-wise, sort of leads you're getting in from our website and the portals that we're on, have you seen a change in that? What would you say has gone up?
Just being buyers asking for deals.
Oh, yeah, okay. So you've seen people coming out of the woodwork, maybe people you've been speaking to for a few years that are ready to pull the trigger.
Left me on red. Hi, hola, how are you? Long time.
Remember me?
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people, like Doge said, they're looking for these, miraculous deals to be in the market. But right now, everyone knows the Dubai game. Everyone knows the UAE real estate game. So it's like the longer you wait, the higher your reward type of thing. So no one is making any rush decisions. And there's been a lot of inquiries for, good things in the market. Yeah. And we also have to remember that even for off-plan is about 60% of the transactions we do here. And these are people that are sending cash from like all over the world. So we're not seeing these launches where people depend on the bank to get money to finance their purchase, compared to other real estate markets. So because developers have these statistics as well, there's no need to drop the price. It's just to make the payment plan more flexible for everyone.
So, Elise, what one piece of advice would you give to your clients during this current crisis?
I think if you, at the moment, like Ola was saying, there was distressed deals prior to the situation right now and financial situations come about and that ultimately will make you a decision whether you need to sell or not. Whether that will be distressed or not is also up to the seller. I think a piece of advice that I would be given to especially buyers right now is that if you have a good deal on the table, don't lose that good deal by being greedy and wanting, 20% below, 15% below. Okay, if you have a good deal in the market right now, 5, maybe 10% below what the original purchase price was or recent transactions, I think it's still a very good deal because in years to come, regardless, you are going to be able to make returns on that property. And ultimately, that is what we're in the real estate game for, is to make returns and make your own money. So if you have a deal today, take it. Really, I think that's my biggest piece of advice, especially for buyers. And I think for sellers in the market, it's to remain calm. We as agents will give you as much advice and statistics as we can. We will assist you through every part of that process that if you are looking to sell, we will help you find you the buyer that will give you the right price. But ultimately, we're not in a crisis. We're not in this period of time where everybody's sort of running around like headless chickens trying to find the next buyer to take on their property because they can't, make payments and things like that. We are a very cash-rich country. So a lot of the people that have invested here have purchased with cash. And that's just a reality that we're seeing today, is that we're just not seeing those deals ultimately. So if you're a seller, speak to an agent, get their advice, see what we can do for you over the next sort of few months. We can monitor the situation. And if you're a buyer, if you have a good deal on the table right now, I'd take it.
Good.
Thank you so much for listening to us today. If you enjoyed this conversation and would like to see more discussions around property markets, the global real estate and investment trends, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And let us know in the comments what topics you'd like us to explore in our next podcast. See you next time.